That Adams Jeep of Maryland up in Aberdeen. You tell if you want to buy a pre-owned vehicle, Jeep or no Jeep, you can get a $500 gas card with the purchase if you mention that you watched the Ryan Ripken Show. All right, guys, the Yanks are coming to town. They got a 1-game lead on the Birds as they open up a 4-game set. First time meeting for the Orioles and Yankees this season. Yankees are coming off beating the Brew Crew, guys, in the last 2 games. They lost the opener to the Brewers on a walk-off fashion. Shout out to Joey Ortiz, former Oriole. First home run, walk-off, fantastic for him. But the Yankees in the last 2 games put up 15 runs each. So they're swinging the bat extremely well. Obviously, we know the Orioles just dropped the series. And to guys give you a little bit of context of what's been happening, obviously that Yankees offensive output has thrusted them back up into the top 8 on a runs per game basis. New York is now averaging over 5 runs a game, but Baltimore still sits in second in all of baseball in runs per game, only trailing the Atlanta Braves at this current moment in time. And on the pitching side, because again, that's what we just touched on, the Yankees pitching staff's been really good. And despite their starting rotation issues and their staff as a whole making a lot of trades, the Yankees sit with the 4th best team ERA at 3.10. The Baltimore Orioles, meanwhile, are sitting 15th, right in the middle of the pack with a 3.89. So where do we want to start with this, guys? Do we want to start with the fact that finally we got a first divisional matchup in Baltimore, and this is this isn't talking about fireworks. It's not football. Somebody hit somebody or physically throw at somebody, but this is a massive series, Rock. Like these are the games, if you're a fan, you love to watch.
100%.
This is no longer okay. So the days of the Yankees being the O's big brother and the O's being the bottom of the barrel team in the division, for now, those days are over. And hopefully for the long haul, those days are over, because these are the 2 teams that are going to be neck and neck for years to come. That's at least what I'm hoping when it comes to the AL East in that divisional race. And it could very well be the case this year. I cannot wait for this series. First of all, we get 4 games, and I know it's early, but fans should be super excited for this series. Number one, I want to say this to all the fans out there. Do not let Yankees fans come in and take over Camden Yards this week, because you have the evil empire, whatever you want to call the Yankees, coming into town. The days of, Camden Yards being packed with the pinstripes, the Yankees jerseys, them cheering louder than you, those days should be over. Those days should be in the past. Pack Camden Yards. I know they're weekday games, but get there. Watch this team, cheer them on, pack it out, because this is going to be a great series. And I'm telling you what, I know it's early, and we're talking about, division series all the time. They're very meaningful. And looking back, right now, this is the biggest series of the year for the O's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the Yankees,
I know we're early, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
And again, there's less division games than there used to be. It's still, you play this team a lot, but this is where these games are even more emphasized, especially if it's a team that you think are going to be competing for a winning the division, playoff spot, you name it. But, guys, there's a player on the Yankees, and it's not Juan Soto.
I was going to say, this is your legacy game with Soto and Henderson.
I love
first, it. But this is going to be a little bit. Just sorry to cut you off for a second, Ryan. But
you're not.
Okay, all right, cool. This is going to be. This is a Kevin Allshaker show now. I'm sorry, but you look at the stats a little bit around the Orioles and the Yankees. Orioles number 1 in homers this year. Yankees number 2. You go to average. Orioles number 5. Yankees number 8. So they're pretty balanced out. This might be an offensive show, but you look to the pitching. The Yankees have the 2nd best staff ERA in baseball right now, only behind the Boston Red Sox, who are also in that vaunted AL East. I almost said AFC East. AL East division.
You're a football guy.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I'm still in football mode. So to me, this is a really big opportunity for the Orioles offense to go out there, score some runs, and unfortunately, it was not the bullpen series we all expected against the A's, but maybe they can lock in here and hopefully sweep the Yankees. That's the goal, right? But hopefully at least get a series win.
And you're right. I actually just checked it, so it didn't update on my one, and I had the Yankees at a 3-1. You're right. The Yankees now have moved up from a 3.10 ERA for being 3rd in baseball to now a 3.08, leapfrogging to 2. But the guy, obviously, Aaron Judge, talking about Juan Soto. The one that we haven't talked about is Aaron Judge. You want to talk about struggles initially for Aaron Judge. Prior to the last 2 games against Milwaukee, Judge had 101 at-bats and was hitting a .178.
Yuck.
For the Yankees. But this is where it gets very interesting here, because in his last 2 outings, guys, 2 games, he's 5 for 8. He's got 2 jacks and 5 ribbies. Judge is starting to rise and he's starting to pick it up, which is not great for the Orioles fans, but for baseball fans, one of the superstars is starting to get going. So when you think of Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Cedric Mullins, Mountie, this is a loaded series. And quite frankly, to me, if Aaron Judge gets going, this lineup just looks tremendously different. And by the way, Anthony Rizzo hit a big milestone for him. I believe he just hit his 300th home run,
which is like, I asked you the other day, Rip. I was like, Anthony Rizzo's hit 300 home runs over the course of his career. That just it didn't baffle me because he's been a home run hitter, but 300, it's just like, I feel like he quietly got to that number. It didn't I don't know.
Pretty good player.
I feel like Judge, he might have heard Zach. It was like the Zach Judge is 2 for 26 at this point, or 1 for 20 something.
1 for 24.
And then he just goes off. As an O's fan, I would want the Yankees at their best, though. I don't want an Aaron Judge slumping.
I would. I would 1,000% want an Aaron
why,
Judge slumping.
Here's why. Yes, obviously you don't want to see him do well, but you want to beat the Yankees at their best, because then you kind of see how you match up with these guys, the power in the lineup early on, and how it is going forward. You don't want a slumping Aaron Judge now, and then you get to, the later months of the season. We're talking August and September, and you get Aaron Judge fully just hitting the cover off the ball. I know, obviously, in this series, you want to see him struggle. You don't want to see him go.
I want to see him struggle in every series he plays against.
But wouldn't you want these guys at their best when they come into town?
Absolutely not.
I want them to walk in here and have the most miserable 4-game series of their entire lives.
Obviously, but I'm saying when they come in here, and then you want to just smack them in the face.
Well, here's the other
for thinking that.
Yes, absolutely.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you're getting a lot. You are getting cooked.
Oh my God!
But here's the other thing to understand with baseball, as you guys have known being around the game. It really does. It obviously, when guys are feeling good and they're streaking, they tend to carry it over for a little bit. But there's no guarantee. You might see the Brewers extremely well, and you might not see the Orioles well. And that's what people are hoping. You're hoping, if you're an Orioles fan, that Aaron Judge and Juan Soto haven't seen any pitching like this ever before this season, and the Orioles surprise them, because when they are on, it's a very different team. And I don't there's way more talented players in that lineup. Like Anthony Rizzo obviously had that big game, got his milestone. Anthony Volpe is a fantastic player for the New York Yankees, who, quite frankly, last year he showed a lot of his power, but it was very inconsistent. This year he's gone back to hitting it to all parts of the field. That's actually Know Your Foe I will have to pull up there, because of him and Aaron Judge. I already did one on Juan Soto, but Volpe is a fantastic young shortstop, great ability. And so far, to me, he's found out more about himself in his second year in the big leagues. And guys, I'm going to pull up his, when I do his breakdown in the future, I'm going to pull up his chart, because he is now using the whole part of the field, and that's made him so dynamic. Yeah, currently hitting 282, 26 strikeouts, 13 walks. Last year, that was a big part of his game. He struck out 167 times, which was more than 1 per game for the New York Yankees as a starting shortstop. So it'll be good. I think you're going to see a very exciting time. And for the Orioles that are throwing, do we have the probable starters
For the Orioles?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, funny enough, Michael just put it in the chat. It's Grayson, Kramer, Burns, and then to be determined.
Which could be Bradish.
Yeah, which is the assumed day that they bring Kyle Bradish back.
And right now it's going to be, so that first day, Schmidt versus Grayson Rodriguez, Nestor Cortez versus Dean Kramer, and then it's Gill versus Burns. So the thing that I want people to understand, and actually this is why for the Orioles it's going to be even more paramount with this Yankee staff. The Yankees actually have flipped the switch on the Orioles so far in 1-run games. 1-run games, 8-3 for the Yankees. Baltimore, they're sitting at 2-4. So the Yankees have found ways to stay in it. Why? Their bullpen has continued to find ways. I mean, guys, this is a team where over the years, the Yankees have had arms come up through their system. I tell you, I don't know where the hell it comes from sometimes, but they are beasts. Rocco, you got a thought, concern, or you want to take your pre-workout?
No, I just finished my pre-workout, so like I'm starting to like itch a little bit.
I can
like
see that.
Jitters right now. Yeah, I realize I'm an idiot with my. I'm getting cooked in the replies,
and you should.
Like, yeah, that's
rightfully
fair. That's
so.
Fair. But what I was saying, because I want a great series. I really do. I want there to be fireworks. Obviously, yeah, like you said, Rip, you don't want people to get thrown at and whatnot, but I do want some chippiness, because I think the Orioles should come into this series with some swagger, with some, okay, we just won the AL East last season. We're the team. You guys have to knock off the high horse. It's no longer you guys. So you're going to get us at our best. We want to get you guys at your best, but like everyone in the replies is saying, like, nah, we want the Yankees to suck. Fair. That's fair.
Well, you just want them to not play well against Baltimore.
Yeah,
and by the way, to
good.
drive home my point that I was just saying about the Yankees bullpen, 4th best bullpen in baseball.